if you frequent Tumblr a lot, if you frequent the FTM tag a lot, if you are FTM and go to the FTM tag on Tumblr, you should know who I mean when I say this vlog is in defense of the Tumblr Dudebros, or True Scum as some people call them, or whatever. Those blogs that are very critical about some of the shit that's been going on. Those blogs that sometimes are the source of the drama because of their always constant criticizing, their constant saying things, commenting on other entries posted on the tag. You should know who I mean. There are quite a few of them actually. This vlog is in defense of them, because recently I've been seeing a lot of videos going around from people saying that they should just shut up, or how dare they condemn femme FTMs, or how they're being really whatever by they're being such bastards by criticizing people who decide to dress femme, or saying people should not dress femme, whatever. I would like to say that is not true. I disagree with that. I'm making this video because I disagree with that completely, and I want people to know where I stand, how I stand on the issues or the topics being debated by them versus other people. Now, first off, you might be saying, well, fuck that, you're a dude bro yourself. And I would like to say, no, I am not. I am not a dude bro because, I have some stake in the femme label, sort of, not completely. I'm very camp, I'm very, I'm not macho at all. I might not be, the most glittery, sparkly, femme whatever, but generally, I am a really camp person. Whatever. So, if they were to condemn people who were camp or femme, or people who were, not straight or not heteronormative, if they were to say any unnecessary shit about people who do that, then I would be all over their asses, because I would not agree with that. But that's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying at all. I think most people refuse to actually read the content or whatever. Now, let's start with number one, this whole femme thing. Most people don't realize that essentially what they're saying is that you shouldn't get really pissed off when people misgender you when you dress really femme, because honestly, when you look at it, it's not that they're condemning you. It's not that they're saying you deserve it. They're saying that's what's going to happen. Society at large, cannot read your mind, or strangers don't know you. They don't know you identify as male or whatever. But if you present as male, if you present as female, sorry, my bad. If you present really femme, if you show your booties a lot, if you accentuate your curves, and you have no really discernible male features, such as, you might not have a beard, you might not have whatever, things like that, most likely, the safer assumption would be that you are female. It's not people's fault. I don't understand if you purposely dress this way, because some people are in the closet, they cannot, and obviously it hurts, and even if everyone has the right to be upset when they get misgendered, but do not bitch at people, do not bitch at strangers, at society for misgendering you when you choose to present in a way that is typically associated with females, because they're not thinking, I'm gonna piss this person off by identifying them as female. They think calling you female is the safer bet, because that's kind of what you look like. Generally, that look is associated with females, not with males. So it's not really anyone's fault. If you want to complain, fine, but you can't blame other people. Telling you cannot blame other people is not wrong. It's realistic. It's telling you it's how the world works. There's not really much you can do about that. Generally, cis females would be really offended to be called dudes. Alright? Also, effeminate cis gay men also get misgendered. Some of them are bothered, especially because they're not trying. They don't dress femme, but those who do dress femme generally don't mind. Alright? They're not saying men can't dress femme. They're saying, if you dress femme and you have no discernible male features, then why would you be pissed off? Or why are you going to blame other people for identifying you as female? That doesn't make any sense. That's number one. Number two is taking tea as a trend. I hate this so very much, because a lot of people on Tumblr seem to think taking tea is just very whatever, oh yeah, sure, I'll take tea, I want to start taking tea soon, without actually understanding the risks involved, understanding the difficulties, the changes that come with tea. Tea is not there to make you look like a pretty boy. That doesn't happen a lot. You don't get to pick the changes, you don't get to mix and match, oh I want this changes, oh I want that changes. No. If you have no problem with your body, I also don't think you should be taking tea, because it is a big deal. It's gonna change you. You are not gonna get exact same thing you really, really want. Alright? Unless you like everything, then most likely it's hit or miss. Tea is also not very safe. I mean, it's not completely safe. There are dangers associated with taking tea. Alright? That's why we have doctors and endocrinologists to watch out for, because tea has some risks involved. Like, if it were completely safe, it were completely accessible and completely safe to everyone on the planet, no bad side effects, and completely reversible, then alright, I'd be fine with people just trying out tea for the heck of it, or or people being fine with their bodies, or people even using it as a cosmetic product. If it were safe, accessible, and reversible. It is none of these three. Safe, alright, arguably safe, but not, not without risk. Let's revise every instance of the word safe to without risk, because there are some risks associated with taking tea. There are some risks involved. Do not take this lightly. Until the time comes where tea is very well, until tea has been perfected, that you can actually use it as a cosmetic product, then fine. When that day comes, go ahead. Until that day comes, do not. Number 3, which is kind of associated with number 2, is generally people on Tumblr giving bad advice. I don't see why anyone would have a problem with the Dudebros or anyone else calling out someone who gives bad advice. I don't know if many of you are aware, but there are a lot of young people on Tumblr. There are a lot of under 18 people on the FTAM tag. I'd say close to 50% even. 40, 30, around. There are a lot of them. Do not give them bad advice. Do not give them do not give them irresponsible advice. Do not tell them, you can just, like with the earlier statement, don't tell anyone, they can just try tea out if they want to. Don't tell them, it's okay to lie to your therapist because, they're gatekeeping whatever anyway. No. You don't tell people that. You don't give out irresponsible information like that. You don't tell, you don't do that. You don't do that in any situation. Why would it in general, that is not acceptable. Why would it be acceptable in this case? You don't tell everyone that the solution is to love their bodies either, because dude, okay, fine. Love your body enough not to harm it, maybe. Love your body enough not to cut, not to inflict self-harm upon yourself, but not love your body that, you should embrace it and be proud of it. No. That's like saying, okay, maybe not, this is not the best analogy ever, but I feel like it's something like saying you should love your abusive parents because they're still your parents anyway. You're stuck with them. No, you don't do that, man. Alright. And, wait, I want to go back to taking tea as a trend. Or, or at least, well, it's interrelatable. People who go like, it's alright to, take tea, whatever, just test tea out. I mean, why? Cis people can take hormones all the time and it not be a big deal. Why is it such a big deal for us? Well, for once, cis people taking hormones, it's supplementary. They don't change a lot. It's not a huge difference with what they already have. If a trans person takes it, there's going to be a huge difference there. There's going to be a big change because your body is not used to it yet. It's going to be different for cis people than it is for trans people, alright? That's the way the world works. That's the truth. That's how it happens. Sorry, we can't, maybe one day we can fix it, but now that's how it rolls, alright? Number 4. Genitals on the tag. Yes, Why? What? This is not body policing. No one is telling you that you absolutely cannot show your body off because your body is disgusting, blah blah blah. They are telling you, do not put this on the tag. I have seen so many of the dude bros ask people nicely. Sure, a lot of times now, because it's the same offenders, a lot of times now they're gonna go all on the offensive. They're gonna be really pissed off because it's the same people who they have previously asked nicely, please do not post this here or put it under a cut. Why is that so difficult? It's not policing your body, because it's just telling you, please do not do this on this public space. Please show consideration for other people. There are people who are underage here. There are people who cannot be seen seeing not safe for work things. There are people who are not in spaces where this is permissible to view. No, come on. Some people are actually triggered by this. Some people are made physically physically uncomfortable by this. Some people will really get into trouble. Pause. It's not asking you for a lot, alright? It's just a cut, come on. Or don't tag it, because come on, a lot of you already know that the FTM tag is a community tag. People really look there. It's not just one of those tags that no one pays attention to. People pay attention to this. People go here looking for information. This is not inherently a not safe for work tag, and no one expects to see not safe for work images here, alright? And by saying FTM is inherently not safe for work is like, what? There's nothing inherently not safe for work about the tag FTM. There should not be. By saying, it's nice, the people who tag with and not safe for work, fine. You're slightly better than the people who don't use the cut, but please also keep in mind, not everyone can use Tumblr Savior. Sometimes Tumblr Savior doesn't work, alright? Sometimes they're on a computer that isn't theirs. And telling people, just block me. First, they have to know they have to block you. So, you're making them see it first, and then have to figure out how the fuck they block you, alright? Just, come on, guys, really, please. It's not, it's not that hard. It's not a big request. Please, just don't be so inconsiderate to other people. Come on. What do you lose? Essentially, what do you lose? Nothing. If you wanted to do this on your private blog, fine. But the moment you bring it into a public space, no. Come on. I don't know how many more times I can beg, because, it's worked a couple of times. I've got a couple of people to reconsider, using, putting the stuff under a cut. But for a lot of other people, they'd rather be dicks. Alright? Because that's what you're being. You're being assholes just because you don't want to make the slightest bit of effort to keep other people feeling safe. Alright? Alright. Please, I am begging you. And number 5. Identifying as whatever. FTM, genderqueer, boy, or whatever. Yes. Okay, I think they have a bigger problem with this than I do. But I'm not quite sure, actually. But I think, they have a lot of problem with the fact that essentially a lot of these labels, there are a lot of conflicting labels, like FTM lesbian, and it's like, no, you can't be a lesbian if you're FTM. So, but I'm not quite sure. I don't even think they have, I don't think Dude Bros have a very solid agreement on on this topic, so I'm just gonna give my view on this. Alright? Identify with however you want. If you want to identify as chair, fine. But if you want to identify as FTM or whatever, please do not give really sexist reasons. Do not say things that rely on gender stereotyping or whatever, because I feel like it is very disrespectful to cis people. And don't give me that, who cares about cis people? Cis people should die because they're scum or whatever, because no. Violent rhetoric is terrible. Anyone who uses violent rhetoric is a terrible person. You shouldn't use it. Blah, 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 blah. No, alright? No, it's not. It doesn't matter if you're using it against the oppressor or the aggressor or whatever. No. Violent rhetoric is bad. That's simple. Alright? Anyway. Not just cis people, but to anyone in general, alright? If you say you're FTM because you like playing with cars as a kid, or you don't like dresses, then WTF? What about people who identify as female and don't like and like those things too? or who do the same thing and identify as female. No, I mean, no. All right, no, that's just messed up. I think one of the main reasons I didn't know about being I didn't feel like being trans for I feel like I was trans for a long point in times because I did grow up thinking that these things, they shouldn't be gendered. All right, so if you give those as answers, then I think that's really sort of messed up, and I think people have every right to call you out on it because it can be some things people say are really, really problematic. All right, and in the end, this whole thing with the dude bros or whatever just boils down to to criticism, basically. I think everything should be open to criticism because criticism is how we as humans grow. When we're criticized, we question. When we're questioned, we think about things. We think about our answers to things, and we learn. All right. There's nothing inherently insulting about criticism. Sometimes you might get. Most likely, you can get offended. Most people do get offended. But so what? If the criticism is valid, if there's actually something going on there, you cannot ignore it just because it makes you slightly uncomfortable. Alright? Fine. If you don't want to deal with it, fine. But the person criticizing you is not in the wrong, especially if they have a point that you refuse to address. Alright? I think everyone should be more open to criticism because really, there's nothing wrong with criticism. I think criticism is a great thing. Criticism stops us from having a hive mind or just accepting things as is. That's because that's not how it should work. All right, don't jump on the dude bros just because you might be pissed off with what they say. Look at what they're actually saying. All right, take time to understand the point they're making because a lot of the things they say are really, really valid. And at first, I did disagree with a lot of what they said because I started reading their blogs because they pissed me off, actually. And the more I read them, the more like, crap, they make sense. Yeah. And if you could just take more time to understand what they're saying, that would be great. So, yeah. Alright? Are we good? You want to send me hate mail, you want to argue with me, alright, whatever, fine. I am open to all that. Go ahead. So, alright. Bye-bye.